Taking a look at traffic and weather together, 6:13 this morning and a relatively quiet morning out there. We're taking you out to the thruway at exit 3 for the SUNY State campus exit where there's an accident being reported westbound side between this exit 3 and exit 4 with the right shoulder closed. Doesn't appear to be causing much of a backup there, either eastbound or westbound. And another accident on the thruway is between exits 25A and 26 in Schenectady. Don't have much of a camera out that way to show you. The bottom of the thruway, or bottom of the Northway, I should say, looks okay. The Northway in general looking pretty good right now. Still a little bit early for any traffic backups. We'll keep an eye on it for you this morning. But right now, if you're getting out early, not a bad drive. That's your CBS 6 Eye on Traffic.
All right, thanks a lot, Jack. All is good. Temperatures are above freezing this morning, and we don't have any drizzle or not much fog. A little bit of patchy fog out there, so do be careful. You may find yourself driving through some of that. By the afternoon, we should wind up near 40. We'll break some of those clouds apart, especially as we go along and south of the capital region, where we do look to break out a little sunshine, be a little breezy out there, but at least it's nice and mild with temperatures approaching 40. And then for your New Year's Eve forecast, not bad. Temperatures will slowly be falling through the 30s. It'll be partly cloudy and breezy. We'll wind up at about 32 or so when the clock strikes midnight. Not an issue at all. 39 right now in Albany. Nice mild start to the day. West winds at about 10 miles an hour. Now, those west winds are actually crucial because that west wind going over the Great Lakes could create for some lake effect snow showers, mainly north and west of the capital region over the next few days. Mainly dry, though, for the rest of the area today and for New Year's Eve. And then a shot of Arctic air is headed our way as we go into Monday and Tuesday, and that right there is what is on the menu over the next few days. Live look at the local radar showing the rain from last night has dried up, pushed east of us as we go hour by hour. We are looking for, again, generally partly sunny skies along the southeast of Albany. The further north and west you go, the more clouds you're going to get into as we see some of those clouds and snow showers blowing off of Lake Ontario. So you may pick up a couple of quick inches across northern Herkimer and Hamilton County, and you might even find a few flakes flying as you work your way up toward Glens Falls later today. Temperatures this morning, mid-to-upper 30s, 39 right now in Albany. We'll wind up keeping the temperatures close to that, lower 40s for Albany for a high. Same for Hudson, mid-Hudson Valley. We're looking at middle 40s for Kingston. Upper 30s around 40 for North Adams and Pittsfield and the Berkshires. Oneonta, you'll top out at about 37 degrees. We're looking at temperatures in the Glens Falls close to 39, 39 for Saratoga. Gloversville at about 38, where you may catch a snow shower or two. Rutland, Vermont, 39, 38 for Manchester, and also into Bennington. So we are relatively mild, all because of the jet stream dragging in some relatively warm air. And so the East Coast right now, we're talking 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and even 70s right now across the southeast in Georgia. I won't get that warmer here. And there is some colder air waiting for us right now just north of the border. We'll not get here for New Year's Day, though. New Year's Day is fine. We're looking at temperatures in the upper 30s, mixed sun and clouds tomorrow and breezy. Over the weekend, we drop the temperatures maybe a degree or two, and we'll see some lake effect snow showers continuing mainly north and west of the capital region, although a few of those could sneak into the area, especially on Sunday. Then after that, jet stream buckles. That's going to allow for 20s for highs on Monday. We barely reach 30 on Tuesday, and we're looking at lows in the teens and the single digits for the first half of next week. Really cold stuff on the way. So here's your 7-day forecast after, again, some lake effect snow showers, mainly north and west on the weekend. We're looking at a very cold start to next week. 28 for Monday, 30 for Tuesday, 17 for a low Monday morning, 10 for a low on Tuesday morning. That's for Albany. You better believe temperatures are going to be in the single digits everywhere else. And you go to some of the higher elevations, say the Adirondacks, we could be talking about temperatures getting down to near zero. Does that remind you of last year?
Well, yeah, it does.
Kind of.
I don't want to even think about February last year.
I know.
That
brings
was tough.
back some.
Yeah, that brings back some memories.
I was nice and warm down in Florida.
Yeah, 2 words: polar vortex. Not cool. Not cool at all.
All right, at the water cooler today. Well, with New Year's, most people make a resolution. You guys come up with any good New Year's resolutions yet?
No.
Me either.
To not make a resolution.
Yeah,
there you go. Good one.
I don't make one.
Well, there you go.
Because I never fulfill them.
Yeah, and a lot of people say they're going to go to the gym, clean out clutter.
Empty promises.
And then they never do. But a store in California is making a different kind of resolution. Get rid of the pennies. 2 locations in Mission Market no longer accepting the 1-cent coins. All cash transactions will now be rounded to the nearest nickel.
So, for example, our coffee right now is $1.39, and you'll now pay $1.40.
I mean, at this point, I feel the same way about pennies that I do as nickels. I feel like the nickel's pretty useless too.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that it can go in a vending machine. That's the only advantage a nickel has.
I'd kind of say the only point, honestly, I use quarters. Occasionally, yeah. For the vending machine, if I need 10 cents, I'll use that every once in a while. But I literally cannot remember the last time I used a penny. You said you used one yesterday.
I used one yesterday. It was one of those things where it's like 1 cent I needed. And you know those little teeny, it's like kind of take a penny, leave a penny.
Yeah.
I used one of those.
I use them for scratch-off tickets.
Doesn't that show you how useless they are, though, in terms of value? Take a penny, leave a penny. It's obviously doesn't have that much value, so go ahead, take one if you need it. So.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Just saying.
What some might call a Times Square landmark, no more this morning. After welcoming tourists for 14 years, the over-the-top Toys R Us store has shut its doors. The home of a 60-foot Ferris wheel, a life-size Barbie doll house, and even a 20-foot animatronic T-Rex came to life for the last time yesterday. A spokesman for the toy company says they didn't renew their lease in order to save money. An agent for the building says retailers Gap and Old Navy have already signed on for leases in the vacant spot.
In Ohio, the Cleveland NAACP making demands following the grand jury decision not to prosecute 2 officers in the death of Tamir Rice. The civil rights group is asking people to protest, and they also want the count prosecutor to be transparent and release the full transcripts of the grand jury proceedings.
And if he's going to release those documents, then let's look at the whole transcript to see exactly how he presented this case to the grand jury.
The Cleveland NAACP also wants the county prosecutor out of office, asking people not to vote for him in the upcoming election.
We have continuing coverage this morning of those accused in connection with the mass shooting in San Bernardino, California. A federal grand jury has charged the friend of one of the shooters with conspiring to give material support to terrorists. This man, Enrique Marquez, being held without bail. According to the Justice Department, he had as an arraignment set for next week. Investigators say he bought the rifles used by the gunman in the mass shooting that killed 14 people earlier this month. Investigators also say Marquez planned other terror attacks with one of the shooters, but never carried them out.
New details this morning on the woman accused of running down pedestrians on the Las Vegas Strip. Prosecutors say toxicology tests confirm Lakeisha Holloway tested positive for marijuana the day of the incident. Holloway is accused of killing one person and injuring dozens more with her car during what police have described as an intentional act. She's charged with murder and leaving the scene of an accident and is being held pending a status check. Well, even in the whole Bill Cosby controversy that's been going on for quite some time, one online streaming site, a very popular one, is streaming everything Cosby. We'll tell you what site that is.
Lots of people pulled it, but one keeping it, and musicians taking on Spotify. We'll tell you why at least one group is suing the music streaming site.
CBS 6 Eye on Traffic is brought to you by Leah Auto Group. Over 5,000 vehicles online all the time at leahcars.com.